28 years have passed. The world has forgotten. But something deep in the earth still remembers. 28 years later, The Bone Temple is not just a typical horror movie. It is a chilling tale of a forgotten world, where the past holds secrets more terrifying than anything we could have imagined.
Right behind us. The path is closing. Hurry.
The movie begins 28 years after the first outbreak, an apocalypse that left humanity teetering on the edge of extinction. Civilization has crumbled, cities have turned to ruins, and what was once a thriving world is now a wasteland, plagued by an ancient curse that refuses to die. At the heart of this wasteland, hidden within the ruins of a forgotten temple, is the Bone Temple. Its walls are built with the remains of the dead, and within its cursed halls, an ancient power sleeps. A power that was meant to be buried forever. The Bone Temple is not just an abandoned structure. It is a living monument to the sins of the past. A place where souls were sacrificed in the name of an ancient deity. For 28 years, the world has turned its back on it, believing it to be a forgotten myth. But something stirs within the temple's dark corners, waiting for the right moment to reawaken. The movie's story follows a group of survivors drawn to the Bone Temple, unaware of the horrors that lurk inside. When they enter, they soon realize that the temple is alive, not in a traditional sense, but through an ancient curse that has been waiting for the right person to trigger its awakening. Strange symbols, whispers from beyond the grave, and the rising tension lead them deeper into the heart of the temple, where the curse begins to take hold once more. As the survivors venture deeper, they uncover the dark truth behind the temple's origins. An ancient ritual gone wrong, and a pact with something far darker than they could have imagined. The Bone Temple is not a place of worship, but a prison for a force that was never meant to be freed. The survivors are now faced with a fate worse than death. They must either destroy the curse or allow it to consume them and the world once more. The deeper they go, the more they realize the curse isn't just a force of destruction. It is a test.
The temple awakens.
A test for those who dare to challenge it, and a test for those trapped within its walls. The Bone Temple isn't a mere relic of a bygone era. It is a sentient entity, its walls and floors stained with the blood of ancient sacrifices. It feeds off fear, and it calls out to the souls of the living, beckoning them to uncover its terrible secrets. The survivors' fate is sealed the moment they set foot inside. The curse isn't just about escaping the temple. It's about whether they can break the cycle of death and destruction that has haunted this land for centuries. In the film's climactic moments, the true nature of the curse is revealed. It is not simply an evil entity waiting to take over. It is a force that has corrupted time itself. The temple's power extends beyond the physical realm, warping reality and time. 28 years later, the world is still struggling to recover, but this curse has not faded. It has only grown stronger, waiting for the right person to unleash its fury. The survivors must now make a choice. Embrace the curse, attempt to destroy it, or succumb to the darkness that lurks within the temple's walls. The temple itself will test their wills, manipulating their fears and desires, challenging their resolve. 28 years later, the world has moved on, but the curse has never forgotten. The Bone Temple is waiting, and it always gets what it wants. Suspense and horror. The Bone Temple is a place of isolation, where every shadow holds a secret and every sound is a warning. The tension builds slowly, with moments of eerie silence punctuated by terrifying events that leave the survivors questioning their reality. Psychological horror. It's not just about what's in the temple. It's about what the temple does to you. It manipulates minds, makes you question everything, turning the survivors' own fears and regrets into weapons of their undoing. Cinematic visuals. The visuals should convey decay and ruin, with ancient symbols, crumbling stone, and eerie lighting. The temple itself should look like a monument to death, yet strangely alive with the curse's energy. This approach, for 28 years later, the Bone Temple, sets up a thrilling, psychological horror that engages the audience right from the start. The hook creates a sense of mystery, drawing viewers into a world that has been abandoned, yet still holds darkness, waiting to be uncovered. The curse within the temple is not simply an evil entity. It is something that has been waiting,
The sacrifice
feeding,
must be made.
and growing stronger for 28 years, giving the film a chilling tone. The
It is
characters
cold.
in 28 years later,
We
the
are
Bone
waiting.
Temple, are
You
integral
cannot
to the
leave.
film's narrative. Their motivations and backstories will shape how they interact with the curse and each other. Here's a breakdown of the main characters and how their personal journeys affect the story. Main characters: Lena, the survivor. Role: Lena is the protagonist who leads the group into the temple. She's driven by a personal need to escape the past and find redemption for her lost loved ones, as well as her failure to prevent the apocalypse. Backstory: Lena was once a scientist working for the government, researching ancient civilizations. After the outbreak, she became a drifter, losing faith in everything. Her personal demons are tied to guilt. She blames herself for not stopping the outbreak when she had the chance. Arc. As the story progresses, Lena is forced to face her guilt, fear, and the truth behind her own failures. Her primary goal is to survive, but deep down, she seeks forgiveness for her past mistakes. Key lines. I never thought I'd be running from my own mistakes, but here we are. I can't outrun the past,
Please, no.
but maybe, just maybe, I can stop this from happening again.
Oh God.
Raphael, the Protector. Role: Raphael is a former soldier, now hardened by the world's collapse. He sees himself as the group's protector, putting others' survival before his own. Backstory: Raphael lost his entire family in the early days of the outbreak, which shattered his idealism. He now operates with a cold pragmatism, refusing to let emotions cloud his judgment. He feels an intense responsibility to protect Elena and the rest of the group
Join us.
because
We
he
are
sees her
waiting.
knowledge
Ayúdanos.
as the key to
Despierta ahora.
surviving.
Viens à nous. Elle arrive.
Arc. Over the course of the film,
No.
Raphael begins to reconsider his strict survivalist mentality. He has to decide whether to trust others or rely on his own isolation. His internal conflict revolves around the idea of sacrifice. Key lines. Out here, trust is a luxury, and luxury is something we don't have. The only way out of this hell is to destroy it, destroy the source of it all. Maria, the skeptic. Role: Maria is a scientist and the voice of reason in the group. She initially doubts the supernatural elements, trying to find a rational explanation for what they're experiencing. Backstory: Maria is a survivor of the early chaos, working as a researcher in genetics. She's driven by her need to understand the infection and find a cure. Unlike Lena and Raphael, Maria is not motivated by redemption or survival, but by discovery. Arc. As the events unfold, Maria is forced to face the limits of science and the terrifying fact that some things cannot be explained. She goes from being a rational skeptic to a reluctant believer in the supernatural horrors
door.
lurking
Let me
in the
out.
temple. Key lines. You really think this place is cursed? I think we're just looking for answers in the wrong places. The answers we're searching for might not be science anymore. What if it's something darker? Eli, the silent child. Role. Eli is a young boy, roughly 8 to 9 years old, who is oddly unaffected by the chaos. He seems to have an intuitive understanding of the temple and its dark powers. Backstory. Eli's past is a mystery. He was found wandering the
temple
ruins near the
awakens.
temple, seemingly
Your
without
soul
family
is
or
ours.
history. He's often seen observing the actions of the group, but he rarely speaks. Arc. Eli represents the mystery of the curse. He often provides cryptic warnings or guidance when the group is in danger. There's an aura of mysticism around him, and his connection to the temple seems to run deeper than anyone realizes. Key
Join
lines.
us.
The Dark
The
One
darkness
watches.
awaits
It sees everything. It's waiting for you. Waiting for all of you.